Hello everyone, this is Varaprasad and I am presenting you the daily current affairs which are useful for SSC, RRB and other government examinations. Let us start the session. Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Dharmendra Pradhan today dedicated to nation 56 CNG stations spread over 11 states and union territories. These stations are in Gujarat, Haryana, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, New Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan, Telangana and Uttar Pradesh. Lauding the efforts of all stakeholders in expansion of gas network in the country, Mr. Pradhan said that 72% of population of the country will soon be recovered through the city gas distribution network, which spread over 53% of geographical area. He said that country is moving towards gas-based economy. The number of PNG stations has gone up from 25 lakh to 60 lakh and number of CNG vehicles has gone up from 22 lakh to 34 lakh. He said that it is a matter of satisfaction that besides the public sector, private companies are wholeheartedly taking part in the expansion of gas infrastructure in the country. The minister said that government is working on energy efficiency, affordability, security and accessibility. He envisioned that the customers will soon have to go to only one place where all types of fuels, petrol, diesel, CNG, LNG and LPG will be made available. He said that government has already started mobile dispensers for diesel and would like to expand for petrol and LNG. State-run Power Finance Corporation (PFC) announced the appointment of Ravindra Singh Dillon as chairman and managing director from June 1, 2020. He will be the successor of Rajiv Sharma as he retires on May 31, 2020. Rajiv Sharma spent his glorious career spanning nearly 4 decades in the company. He has been instrumental in PFC's transformation as one of the India's largest financial and lending institutions in the power sector. PFC is one of the largest profit-making CPSE (Central Public Sector) enterprise on a consolidated basis. Ravindra Sharma Dillon will hold the post of CMD in PFC till the day of his superannuation on May 31, 2023. Dillon currently serves as director in PFC and has more than 35 years of experience in various areas of power sector. In the PFC, he has worked in various capacities for over 25 years handling project appraisal, business development, stressed assets revival and monitoring of projects. Dillon was associated as director in development of Mundra Ultra Mega Power Project. Ministry of Finance appointed P.R. Jaishankar as the Managing Director of India Infrastructure Finance Company Limited for 3 years. The appointment comes after the Bank Boards Bureau, the headhunter for state-run banks and financial institutions, recommended Jaishankar on March 15th. The post laid vacant for 3 years before the appointment. Jaishankar served as the Executive Director of the National Housing Bank prior to this. His latest posting was approved by the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The ministry also appointed Harsha Bangri as Deputy Managing Director of Exim Bank. She was the bank's Chief General Manager before this. Jawaharlal Nehru University professor Sona Jharia Minch was appointed as Vice Chancellor of Sidho Kanhu Murmu University in Jharkhand's Dumka, becoming one of the rare Adivasi women to head a university. Minj, a tribal scholar from Jharkhand's Gumla district, is a professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University School of Computer and System Sciences. She has also been president of Jawaharlal Nehru University Teachers Association and a vocal supporter of social justice and Dalit and Adivasi rights. Her appointment has both surprised and pleased the academia considering the numerical odds. The latest All India Higher Education Survey in 2018-19 had shown that there are 33,403 scheduled tribe teachers all over India, of which only 13,574 are women. This fact is not lost on Minj. I am extremely happy to be appointed as VC, but I also know how rare it is for a tribal woman to be elevated to such a post. First of all, there is no parity when it comes to women in academia. Then it narrows down even further to tribal women. It all depends upon the kind of access that a child gets in his or her early days that shapes their future. IIT, IIM alumnus S. Gopal Krishnan, a senior Tamil Nadu cadre IAS officer, has been appointed as Additional Secretary in the Prime Minister's Office. Gopal Krishnan's appointment was cleared by the Appointments Committee of Cabinet led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The 1991 batch IAS officer is currently serving at the Ministry of Electronics, where his responsibilities include issues related to e-governance, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, emerging technologies, startups, and innovation. Gopal Krishnan is an electrical engineering graduate from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, and a postgraduate from Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. He also holds a master's degree in development studies from Erasmus University of Rotterdam. UK Prime Minister appoints Indian origin academic as Natural History Museum trustee. The 52-year-old expert will take on the unpaid advisory role for a period of 4 years until May 2024. Malhi is a professor of ecosystem science at the University of Oxford, Jackson Senior Research Fellow in Biodiversity and Conservation at Oriel College, Oxford, and the Director of Oxford Centre for Tropical Forests and Oxford University Biodiversity Network. I have been enthralled by Natural History Museum since my first visits as a child, and I am delighted to be now joining it as a trustee. I believe no entity in the UK better celebrates the magnificence of natural world, he said. I am particularly excited in helping the museum become a leader and partner in helping address what I see as the great challenges of our time, tackling climate change and the restoration of natural world, both within the United Kingdom and internationally. The museum brings a wealth of scientific expertise, practical experience, and public reach that has so much potential to make a really significant contribution to tackling these challenges, he said. Venkatramani Sumantran has been appointed the independent director of airline company Indigo. He presently served as the chairman and managing director of Chennai-based Celeris Technologies. He will hold the post for next 5 years. Dr. Sumantran, with a rich experience of over 35 years having worked in USA, Europe and Asia, has been an industry leader, technocrat, academic and author. Some of the static GK questions are: Indigo Airlines headquarters is in Gurugram, Haryana. Indigo Airlines established in the year 2006. TCS wins 2 Stevie Awards for 2019 TCS New York City Marathon app. The 2019 TCS New York City Marathon app was created by TCS Interactive, an award-winning iconic design and digital experiences group within TCS, in collaboration with marathon organizer New York Road Runners. The app highlights that were recognized by judges and contributed to it winning the awards include the most downloaded marathon app ever, exceeding 492,000 downloads and representing a 12.4% increase compared to prior year. On race day, there were 120,000 active app users per second and average user time was over 26 minutes. The first marathon app to offer augmented capabilities, this feature unlocked surprise and delight experiences, including inspirational messages from 2017 New York City Marathon champion. Cisco has recently announced the purchase of Thousand Eyes, a network intelligence company whose technology helps companies monitor their network for outages. The terms of deal were not disclosed yet. However, a person familiar with the matter confirmed that purchase price was about $1 billion. Cisco has been focusing on expanding its portfolio of cloud-based software so it can cater to companies that are moving away from their own data center and into more distributed environments. The purchase follows Cisco's 2017 acquisition of AppDynamics for $3.7 billion, which brought in software that brings companies spot bugs in their apps and instantly fix them. Additionally, Cisco's prior software deals include the $2.35 billion purchase of Duo Security in 2018 and the $1.9 billion acquisition of BroadSoft in 2017 to add technology for contact centers. NHPC board OK's foray into solar power business. On May 28th, state-run hydropower giant NHPC said its board has approved the proposal to foray into solar power business. NHPC is mainly into hydropower generation. It is to inform that Board of Directors of NHPC Limited in its meeting held today has considered and approved the proposal regarding diversification of business of the company by development of solar power projects as intermediary procurer through solar power developers. A statement said NHPC presently has an installation base of 7071.2 megawatts from 24 power stations on ownership basis, including projects taken up in joint venture. RBI stops selling saving bonds that provided returns at 7.7%. This was a popular instrument among the retired who used to invest in this instrument that came with a lock-in period of 4 to 6 years depending on the age of bond holder. For others, there were no premature redemption. The Government of India hereby announces that 7.7% savings bonds 2018 shall cease for subscription with effect from the close of banking business on May 28, 2020. The bonds were issued in January 2018 for residents and Hindu undivided family members and became instantly popular. They were not available for non-resident Indians. The minimum value of investment was 1000 rupees with no maximum limit. RBI slaps penalty on Bank of India, Karnataka Bank and Saraswat Bank. Reserve Bank of India imposed a penalty of 5 crore rupees on Bank of India for non-compliance with National Bank's previous directions. Earlier, RBI have found Bank of India guilty as a result of statutory inspection with respect to its financial position as on March 31, 2017 and March 2018. Indian National Bank has now stated that Bank of India flouted RBI norms surrounding risk assessment reports. A show cause notice has been served to Bank of India by RBI seeking reasons why a monetary penalty should not be imposed. The bank responded. However, RBI did not find its response satisfactory. In addition, two other banks, namely Karnataka Bank and Saraswat Cooperative Bank, have also been slapped with penalties, while Karnataka Bank Limited faces a penalty of 1.2 crore rupees. A penalty of 30 lakhs has been imposed on Saraswat Cooperative Bank. Ajit Jogi, first Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, dies at 74 in Raipur. After a prolonged illness, he was hospitalized at a private hospital in Raipur for last 20 days. The first Chief Minister of the state was admitted there on May 9th after suffering a cardiac arrest at his home. He had since then remained critical and was on a ventilator support. The last one of the session is veteran lyricist Yogesh Gaur, who penned the famous Kahindur Jab, Din Dal Jaye and Zindagi Kaise Hai Pehli in Anand, passed away. He was 77. He was known by his first name in film circles. Yogesh was a prominent lyricist in 70s Hindi cinema and gave some of his best songs in middle cinema like Hrishikesh Mukherjee and Basu Chatterjee. Embedded with a sense of longing and nostalgia, his lyrics have survived the test of time by staying fresh in the memory of music lovers. Veteran playback singer Lata Mangeshkar expressed her grief over the death of Gaur. We are providing you the PDF of this entire session in the description box below. People who want to download the PDF can go to the description box and click on that link so that you can download the PDF. Thank you everyone. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates. Please give your valuable suggestions in the comment box.